Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charla.
I'm Justin.
What are we doing today?
Waxing philosophical.
It's been a while since we did one of these.
That's right. I was all philosophicized out.
Were you really?
I don't know. It just seemed weird.
What are we talking about today?
Today we're going to look at the topic of how many plays do you give a game before you give up on it?
I think it depends on the game.
Makes sense.
Because I'm just thinking about a couple of games.
Yeah.
And there was one game in particular I was ready to give up on.
Yep.
But then I kept wanting to play it.
Yeah.
But then there's other games where I'm like, 2 times and I'm like, I can't even. I literally just can't even play this again.
Even. Can't. Literally.
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
My answer would be more than one.
Yeah, more than one.
Yeah. I don't know if there's an exact number, like, 5, obviously. You just do 5 every single time. I don't think so. I do think it depends on the game. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of other instances, like, there are games that I've played that I have no interest in ever playing again, except it might have been the group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if a different group presented that game, then I would be okay with playing it again. Mm-hmm. And there have been a number of games where after playing it once or twice, I had a very strong opinion on the game, and then afterwards played it again and discovered new things about it. Mm-hmm. But I think it depends on the game, and it depends on how much you feel drawn back into it. Mm-hmm. So more than once, make yourself play it at least more than once. But other than that, as many times as the game kind of calls you back to it. Yeah,
it's a good answer.
Yeah.
Because there are games, like I said, like I've played it once, mm-hmm. I've played it twice, and then I just can't even physically want to invest any more time.
Yeah.
So there's those instances.
Yeah. Hi, Jinx. All right, so maybe some examples of some games?
Yeah.
All right, what are we going to do?
Which one first? Like games that drew us back, or games that we just said we can't?
Let's go with games that said, no, we can't.
Okay. Well, there's one game that I did only play once.
Yeah.
And I knew I never wanted to play it again.
Okay.
And it was something a friend brought over. Mm-hmm. And it was actually Heroes Wanted.
Yeah.
Now, this game, they brought it over, and I didn't really know too much about it, and it was explained to me. It's like Mystery Men in a board game. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. I love Mystery Men, and in a board game, that would rock.
And you get this weird like combo of different powers that mix together. Mm-hmm. That's kind of neat.
It seems really cool.
Yeah.
But then once I started playing it, I didn't like it at all. And I never, ever want to have to play that game again.
Yeah. I would revisit it if there was a way to balance the way the characters get created, because what I found was completely unbalanced. It was just completely random what like 2 or 3 powers you got.
It is random, hero. But that's the best thing about the game.
No, because then for me, then I can't do anything because none of my powers mesh, and somebody who just happened to get powers that mesh well is running away with the game.
But my issue with the game is it's a board.
Yep.
And you've got these people and you're moving around. Mm-hmm. And each player has a turn, and you're doing the exact same dreary thing on each turn.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, oh yay, it's my turn again. I'm going to do the exact same thing I did last time, and it's not really getting me anywhere. And
yeah.
And yay, it's my turn again, and the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill another little minion, maybe.
Yeah, that was the part I didn't like about the game.
Yeah.
And also the whole that secret goal or whatever, like every time you said something, you had to touch someone.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a secret goal. It was more of like a flavor twist for your character.
Yeah, the flavor stuff was the dumbest.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
The end of the sentence.
Right.
Anyway, that was probably really harsh, actually. But
not our cup of tea.
It's my own opinion, and I'm allowed to have my own opinion.
Yeah. I think that kind of game is for someone who really enjoys kind of like quirky, random parody of comics.
Yeah, and they don't care about how the game plays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the game doesn't really play in any kind of strategic way, which is unfortunate.
I mean, look at that game we played that one time. We don't own it, so we can't play it again unless we ask them to bring it over again. But Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
Now, that's a theme that I don't have any love for at all.
No.
But the mechanics of that game were
really
very
good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I think they should have rethemed it to a different... I mean, it works for what the theme is.
Yeah.
But I only played it once, so I really can't speak too much about it, but I remember being impressed.
By the mechanics.
With that, yeah.
Yeah.
And wishing that it was rethemed to, like...
something a little less dark.
Ice Cream Parlor Wars or anything.
Ice Cream Parlor Wars.
Yeah.
Bring your guns and your suitcases full of cash to the Ice Cream Parlor Wars.
Replace the guns with, like, cherries and peanuts or something, and, like, flavors of ice cream, and, like, dueling, like, the gangs could be, like, different, like, parlors, and
so
it would work.
Instead of, like, bags of drugs, it would be bags of vanilla?
Or, like, sprinkles. Like, I don't care, but, yeah.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's good. I know a game that we have been kind of on the fence about getting rid of for quite some time has been Grand Austria Hotel. And I enjoy it, and you don't seem to enjoy it.
When I play the game, I feel like I'm getting no enjoyment out of it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's calling me back.
Yeah, you're always the one that requests we play the game.
I know.
And it has stayed on our shelf. Yeah, we went through a bit of a purge this summer, a big sell-off to get rid of a bunch of games. And it was on the sell shelf, and then it was back on the, no, we're keeping it. And then it went back, and then it went back, and we're keeping it.
Right.
Yeah. So something about that game keeps calling you back to it.
Even though there's, most of the time when we play, he has twice as many points as me.
Now that has only happened a couple of times.
Well,
yeah.
When you're on the receiving end of it, it feels like way more.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. All right. And then, of course, there was that game that we had access to. And we decided to do a review and a playthrough and an overview. And
even a compare and contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this game has so many like people who love it and just say it is the best game ever.
It was our most controversial game that we've ever put on the channel.
Yeah. We've had more comments, and to be fair, nobody commented negatively.
No. There was no flaming or trolling or anything like that.
Everyone had very good arguments about why we were not giving it a fair...
Why we were wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was Robinson Crusoe.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, we never once stated that it was a bad game.
Not at all.
We said it was a very excellent game.
Incredibly well designed.
But these are the reasons why it's not for us.
Yeah.
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 And it's just because the game takes such glee in making you fail.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah. And if you're the type of gamer that just loves to kind of play that cooperative game, get beat down, and then figure out some way
to scrape by the skin of your teeth
and take the game down
beyond all odds, and finally after 20 plays it happened and we won, then of course it's a wonderful game. But if at the end of the game and you're crying in your pillow with your teddy bear at night because that keeps happening to you like 15 times, it's not the game for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm exaggerating obviously because I don't have a teddy bear anymore. But the rest, no, I don't cry on my pillow either. Yeah. But I think you get my point.
Yeah. And I think another part of that was what would call people back to it is that investment of time, like not just, hey, let's try again, but more of I think I have an idea of what to do in this scenario that would help us do a little bit better. Let's try that. And that requires such an investment of time and thought and research into the game that we just didn't have time for, didn't feel that call back to do that.
See, I think if, number one, we don't even like co-ops, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's another thing about us.
Yeah.
But I think another thing too is if we had fewer games.
Yeah.
And we could concentrate more time and energy and invest that in one game.
Exactly.
It would be another different story as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that we did give quite a few plays.
Mm-hmm.
We went back to...
And we even played it 2-player.
Yeah.
And we played a couple games 4-player as well.
Yeah.
So.
And that's an example of a game where we felt, because it was so beloved and we wanted to cover it, we felt we needed to go back and try it several more times. Probably more times than we really would have normally wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 And then I have just another one too.
Oh, yeah.
It's one that I want to keep, but I think one that you want to get rid of.
Ooh, okay.
And it's Macau.
Macau. Yeah.
I think that, like, the game is a little tricky with that windrows.
Yeah.
And how it works with the dice and the windrows and everything.
It is a very unique mechanism.
Yep.
I just wish that mechanism, which I think is cool, did something more interesting on the board.
Mm.
And as soon as I take that mechanism and then apply it to the board, it loses me. Because the board's boring and doesn't...
It seems disjointed to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The windrows, awesome. The rest of it, meh.
I just find that it's an interesting idea.
Yep.
And I know there's got to be a way to work it better. So I just want to keep trying it.
Because the windrows is really tricky.
Yes.
Super tricky.
It is.
Yeah. I would love to see the windrows used in a different game. That would be kind of neat.
To see if a few different mechanisms could make it more interesting for you.
Yeah, exactly. Because as interesting as trying to master the windrows is, and it is very interesting, there's no payoff once it hits the board. I'm just like, well, I got to do this and this, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there was something else going
on...
It's
a lot of investment for a little payoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there was something else on the board that made the payoff worth it, like, oh yeah, I did that, it was awesome, and I totally did that, and that, and that, yeah! Then I'd be all for it. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it just doesn't.
See, I just keep in the back of my mind thinking, I know I can understand this game, I have to try it again.
Yeah.
I gotta try it one more time. I know I can master this game, I just need to try it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do enjoy the windrows. Very neat, very unique, different. Yeah. We'll have to play it again soon. Awesome. So that has been our waxing philosophical. How many plays do you give a game before you give up on it?
Right.
Yeah. A whole lot of just kind of talking about it, but I think when it comes down to our like one sentence answer, for me it's more than once and however many times the game calls you back.
Right.
And if the game isn't calling you back, you don't need to feel any kind of pressure to go play it more.
Mm-hmm. And I guess my one sentence is the exact same as yours, but in less words. As many as it takes.
As many as it takes. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. And I guess one little caveat is it depends on like who you're playing it with.
It's true, because you can play a game with one group of people.
Yeah. And
have a totally different experience with the next group of people.
Yeah. Board gaming becomes quite complicated when you start adding groups, because not only do you have to understand all your board games, but you have to understand your groups. Mm-hmm. And this seems like it's
interpersonal dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this seems to be segueing into a completely other waxing philosophical topic.
Yeah, one that wasn't on the list at all. We'll have to write that down.
So, that's been Waxing Philosophical.
It's shiny.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you in the next video.
Laters. Today we're going to do a waxing philosophical.
Oh, has a bit. It's.
Has a bit. Blah blah.
Blah 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 blah. Bleep.
Bleep.